Yeah, man. We are back. I told you I got the interviews on lock. You know this, man. It's DJ Chase, the pregame part of this podcast, right here on WDJC DB DJ Chase Radio. This episode is brought to you by the College Radio Directory. Use the promo code DJ Chase and Groove are the hottest platforms that allows you to get in touch with players, curators, labels, and get real feedback, review your music and content, not bots, real people. But today we got South Carolina hip hop legend, my guy and author Classy D, aka Paradigm of the Awesome Crew in the building today. How you doing, King?
Hey, glad to be on here, bro. You know, I've been following the pregame party mix for about a year now.
Oh,
Strong.
okay.
I've been following it. Yeah. So, hey, I'm glad to be here.
For sure, for sure. Hope you like that. Hope you enjoy the show, man. For real.
Oh yeah, it's been you've been dropping knowledge, man. I like that. Dropping
Thank you.
knowledge for the people who really need that knowledge about the music business. That's what makes your podcast different.
Thank you. I work hard for that. For sure, man. And I want to get into your background a little bit. Like I said, you're a hip hop veteran. You've been doing this, probably before I was even born, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a great thing. And I specifically said that because a lot of brothers they didn't make it. They didn't make it out the 80s, 90s, the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? We're still blessed to be here. So, that's a blessing. You're from South Carolina, correct?
Yes. Born and raised in the most unlikely place for hip hop.
Okay.
Clinton, South Carolina.
Yeah. For sure, man.
Small hick town, man.
Yeah.
Small hick town that nobody would ever expect anybody to come out of. And that's what made it so hard,
Yeah, for sure, man. And we're going to talk about that. So I want to ask this right now. How was growing up in Clinton for you? Everybody's experience is different growing up in certain places, but how was it for you?
Man, it was wonderful. Everybody was an athlete.
Yeah.
Baseball, football, basketball, everybody played ball, so we all did that. We all it was love,
Yeah.
Being, you probably experienced this. I think you've probably been down south long enough now to experience that love.
Yeah, I've been here since February. So I've been here since February. So it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. That Southern hospitality, man. You get that kind of love and appreciation, and that's it gives you a good foundation. And so, man, I had a good upbringing.
Yeah.
Come from a 2-parent home.
Yes.
My parents' house was not in the hood.
Yeah.
But I lived in the hood.
Gotcha.
That's where all my friends were. So that's where I was.
For sure. And were your parents involved in any type of entertainment, music, acting? Were they involved in anything?
No.
Yeah.
My mom was a school teacher.
Yeah.
And so that kind of rubbed off on me.
Yeah. Listen, my wife was a teacher for 7 years, so I used to go to schools when I was in New York. I was going to schools and I seen all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I totally understand.
Right.
And I want to ask this, right? Okay, well, first we're gonna break it down like this. What made you want to be an artist?
It's just something that was always there. My parents, like I said, I love the upbringing because they did not tell us to do anything, but they gave us exposure to everything. We grew up playing ball. They took us to the YMCA leagues where we started young and started playing music in church.
Yeah.
And so my brother and I, Daddy D, my brother, who's also one of the founding members of the group.
Yes, sir.
We grew up playing piano in the church, and my mom would sing. She didn't sing professionally, but she was in the choir and she was singing in church. So the musical background was always there.
Yeah, for sure. And who did you listen to growing up? Who from Clinton, South Carolina? Because you don't hear a lot of South Carolina artists, especially back then in the 80s. Who did you listen to growing up?
Oh man, pretty much everybody. Blues. There was a blues legend, man, named Drink Small from Columbia, South Carolina. We love that guy, man. So it was like Marvin Cease, Muddy Waters.
Yeah.
All those guys, the Wolf, the Howling Wolf, and and it, just a plethora of people, man. And the personal influence, Prince,
the
Time,
and
the early hip hop artists.
Yeah. The good music, that good classic music.
Exactly.
For sure. And how did you connect with the other three members of the awesome crew? How did you guys link up, being that your mom was a school teacher? Because being a rapper back then, you had to really be about what you was talking about. So how did you link up with the awesome crew?
Right. It's weird, man. You
Yeah.
know, we my brother and I, Daddy D, we were together as that unit. So we were always making music just early on. And Smooth D, one of the other members of the founding members of the group, Smooth D is actually from Long Island.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
when he moved, his family moved to South Carolina, because Smooth brought that New York flavor.
I know.
he was battling everybody. And
Yeah.
my brother Daddy D,
Yeah.
his ego was too huge. He couldn't take that. So those two got into it, man.
Yeah.
And they battled each other. I don't know how it went down, but I know my brother won one battle. Smooth D won the next one.
Yeah.
And the third battle, the rubber match,
yeah,
they called it a draw. They decided, man, let's team up. Let's be partners. And so
it got together, yeah.
That's really how the group started. The fourth member, Busy B, Nasty Nard, he was kind of with us, and he was really like my partner. Yeah. And he hung with me a lot, and he was always there. Yeah. And he was the beatbox.
Oh, okay.
So when we went places, we had the guy making a beat for us, and we could rap like that. So yeah, and that's the four members of the group.
Yeah, that's dope. Now, once again, I'm from New York, and us New Yorkers, especially my dad, comes from the same generation. We did not listen to Southern hip hop in the 80s and 90s. Did you find it? Hold on. I'm gonna say it like this: did you find it hard to break into the music business being from South Carolina back then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That was the biggest challenge. And yeah. Chase, man, I've when you grow, you learn that it wasn't the artist. Yeah. But I had beef. We all had beef with New York artists.
I know. It's still there. It's still there a little bit.
Like my brother's favorite line, Daddy D, the one that rocked the crowds all the time. His favorite line was, "I'm as fine as I can be. I can't get no finer. I ain't from New York. I'm from South Carolina." That crowds went crazy when he said that.
That's a hard line, though. That's a hard line.
We didn't have that respect. And there were even people from South Carolina, because everybody has a relative in New York.
Yeah.
I had an auntie in Brooklyn, but I never said I was from Brooklyn. I never gave her address and pretended I was from, like a lot of them did.
Yeah.
So man, it was very hard. Everybody was like, "Man, y'all from Clinton. Y'all ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna never be nothing." Yeah. And you're like, "Thank you, bro." I like the support you're giving us.
Well, listen, the Southern love. Listen, I ain't going back. Everybody going back to New York? I'm like, nope, not going back. I love it down here. Yeah, as you see, I got the new studio down here. I'm sitting here like I'm not going back. So don't ask me.
I'm gonna have to come down there one day, man.
Yeah, I'm right in Charlotte. I'm right in Charlotte, so feel free to come. I'm right here in Charlotte. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I was just in Myrtle Beach for my birthday, so I was just down there enjoying that Carolina food. So that South Carolina food is amazing. That South Carolina food is woo.
Yeah, that's why you ain't going back.
I ain't going back.
The food and the women and the hospitality.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I do want to. I want to touch on this a little bit. Not to get too deep into it, but '93. The tragic passing of member Smooth D, and you guys kind of broke up after that. Did you find it harder to be a solo artist, or did you find it easier being in a group?
Man, that still touches me, man. The group. I never wanted to be a solo artist. I was always in a group, so it's still kind of hard. Yeah, it's still kind of hard wrapping my head around that, trying to be a solo artist. Our original full name of the group was the Nasty So Classy Awesome Crew. And Nasty So Classy Crew was what Smooth D, that was his group in Long Island. The Nasty So Classy Crew. Yeah. So we were Awesome Crew, and he brought Nasty So Classy, and it just fit that my name is Classy D.
Yeah.
And Busy B, his name is Bernard, so he became Nasty Nard. So that made the Nasty So Classy.
It worked out. Yeah, it worked right out. Yeah, yeah. So basically, you didn't want to be a solo artist, right?
I didn't. It's still the group thing, and even though I've recorded some newer tracks that was really just me.
Yeah.
I put it out under the Awesome Crew's name because I still feel loyal to the group and to the guys, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, I understand that. And at what point did you know what being in a group, you guys, fairly toured, the South and toured and different things like that. How does your mom feel being a teacher? Like you was gonna be a rapper? Like how did she say, especially back then? Because I'm very sure she was like, no way, no way.
Absolutely, mom did not support that at all.
Got you.
Like no, my kids going to school, they're gonna get their education, and then after they get their education, they can go out and do whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
but they're gonna get their education first. That's where she was coming from. Now, Dad was totally different. Dad was like, man, my boys put a record out. He took it to work with him and selling it to everybody, and he was
what's father supposed to do. Trust me, my dad the same way. My father be like, you did your education, you did your school thing, now it's time to get that music. You know what I'm saying? My pops is my biggest fan for sure. So
exactly.
And do you like the stage better? Do you like the studio better?
Man, I did a show last year, and that was the first time I've been on stage in 30 years. So I have to say I'm trying to get used to it, because the last time I was on the stage, it was the four of us. It was a group.
Yeah.
Now it's like me there by myself, and it's just a learning curve.
Yeah. Okay.
So right now I enjoy the studio. Back in the day, it was the stage.
For sure. And I want to get into some music, like opinion questions, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the South now? I know it's totally different from when you started. How do you feel about the South running hip hop for the last 25, 30 years right now?
I love it personally. I think it's good that the Southern artists are getting out there, and much love to New York. We all love the New York rappers and everything. We love that scene, and we wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And, it really wasn't the artists themselves; it's the labels and the industry, and that was our beef. Okay, so you're gonna sell New York artists to us. We have to buy their product. We have to go to their shows, but you're not gonna put us on. So all we're good for is being consumers.
Yep. It's like that. It's still like that. It's probably even worse now. That's why I came down here. I got sick of it. So I understand.
Yeah. So I love the fact that the Southern artists are making their mark. Now, one thing I don't like that term "dirty South." I'm not a dirty South guy. I don't, I don't like that. I love the music. I just don't like that term.
Yeah. Okay. So I got another question for you. Do you like the 80s hip hop better, the 90s hip hop better, 2000s hip hop better, or the 2010s hip hop better?
Man, wow, that's a good question.
Yeah.
And it's really, I don't know. It's really kind of hard to compare them. I really loved the 80s because that's what I grew up with.
Yeah.
I love the Black Power that came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
2000s is kind of waning, and kind of up to now. I love the music, and I've always loved the music. I don't always like the message and the lyrics that are out there now, but I love the music.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, we're gonna play a quick game, a two question game. Vinyl, cassettes, CDs, or streaming?
Vinyl.
Agreed. I like vinyl too.
I figured you would be in the DJ.
I like vinyl and CDs. CD, like sound wise, CDs are the best, but vinyl is not like vinyl though. CDs are the best. CDs are the best by far. All right, I got one more for you. All right, recording and producing on analog tape or Pro Tools digital?
Analog.
Okay.
And I have to say that because I never really got into Pro Tools and the digital music.
Mm-hmm.
That's making music on a computer is weird to me. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
You know, people have told me about Pro Tools and Fruity Loops and other programs, and I'm a musician. I play piano. I play keyboard. I play drums. I play the actual instrument. Now, don't get me wrong. I do have drum machines, and I can make music off a drum machine. But making it off of, I can't do it from a computer.
Yeah. Got you. Okay. And I want to ask this now. How do you feel about the younger generation? You know, you guys back then, y'all had it hard with the contracts. There was no ownership back then as opposed to this now. How do you feel about us younger generation fighting for like more independence, more publishing deals, and not chasing a record deal as much? How do you feel about that?
Well, that's kind of the way of the business. And I actually like it because and what I mean by that is the industry sort of forced it to be that way.
Yep.
They don't groom artists anymore like they used to. It's at a point now where you go out and sell 30,000 copies on your own, then they come after you. And a lot of independent artists are like, okay, I don't need you now. I did all of that on my own. What are you going to offer me?
Yeah. Yep.
That's how they are. They really want you to make your own name for yourself now. And then they want to come in and sign you.
Yeah. For sure. And did you think Southern hip hop would be global as it is now? Like people using the lingo, dressing like Southern artists. You know what I'm saying? Especially the lingo. The lingo is definitely all over the world now. How do you feel about Southern hip hop being global?
Man, I love it. I had no idea that it would take off the way that it has because it had this stigma of you Southern back hicks, country rappers and all. You don't need. It's like, okay, but the art form, okay, you're talking about the way I talk. But what about my art? The music, what about what we're making? Can you focus on that instead of my Southern twang?
Nah, for sure. Listen, since I've been here, all I listen to is like Goody Mob, Soul Food. I listen to like super Southern music. Outkast, the first album, Aquemini. I listen to like Southern playlistic Cadillac music. That's all I listen to. Like when I'm riding the car, like that's all I'm listening to. So trust me, I understand. And what I like about South music is the musicianship. Like, New York is more sample based, but down here you guys play instruments. That's what I like about Southern music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We just, we didn't always have that. We didn't have that option. We kind of had to play the music. Man, by the time the Roland 808 drum machine got to us, it was already out of print. They had already stopped making them. When they making them from like 1980 to 84?
Like 84, something like that. Yeah, it's not even that, like 85, something crazy like that. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I didn't get an 808 until like 90s.
Gotcha.
So we had to make our own music. And I actually enjoyed it. It was not a challenge to us because again, growing up a musician, my mom had us training under a music teacher. And in school, I played the drums in the band. My brother played the trumpet in the band. Smooth D was actually in chorus. He could sing. And that's what really made us different. And that's why the name The Awesome Crew. That's where it came from. Like, you guys are just awesome. You guys can do everything. And that's what we did. We did not, we were like an old school Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, because those guys would make white lines where they were singing in the records.
They're singing all over that. Yeah, they're singing all over that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we did. Houdini, One Love. That's singing.
Singing. Singing. Yep, singing. Even with Curtis Blow, you know what I'm talking about. Curtis Blow song, singing. Yep. If I ruled the world, excuse me. If I ruled the world, singing. That's singing. Excuse me. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I do want to ask this now. The new album, The Secret, really very good quality album. What inspired that project?
Oh man, Again, I'm trying not to get too emotional, but to kind of go back, you touched on it. Smooth D was shot and killed in '93, and that basically ended our group. At the time, Daddy D and I were both in college, so we were not there. And when you're in a hood and you're the awesome crew, people are jealous of you. So they'll bring you over. Hey, let's do this. So the story was that he was with some of the guys and they were playing Russian roulette. That would have never happened if we were there. We wouldn't have let him be around, guys who were doing it. And okay, how he ended up being the one getting shot?
Yep.
The guy who's a rapper, who's making music, who's doing things. How did he end up being the only one who got shot?
Yeah. That's how it usually happens. Yep.
But so it everything kind of died down, and Smooth played basketball in high school too. So in 2019, he was inducted into a Hall of Fame. And it's like, oh man, I actually wasn't there. I'm actually based in Kentucky now. And but my brother was there and he actually went to the event. I gave him some money to support it. He was actually there, and it was like, man, we need to do a kind of tribute or whatever. We need to get the group back together.
Nah, that's nice.
So 2019, we were starting to get the group back together, and my brother was saying, the Awesome Crew is a dated name. We need a new name for the group. Why don't we be The Secret?
Okay,
cool. Because it's like, you're these old school guys. Our plan was to hit everybody with the music, and before you really saw our faces and knew who we were. Because it's like, we want to draw people in before they start. Because Black music, rap music in particular, is the only music that has age
on it. Yeah, and we're gonna talk about that.
Everybody else, it doesn't matter what their age
Mick Jagger's almost in a casket right now, literally like in a casket. Like, I'm like, they don't say nothing about Mick Jagger. Like, he's literally almost in a casket. Like,
right. And they still get to make that money. But that's where it came from. In 2019, we were trying to get the group back together. And actually, the song "Back in the Days" was the first song that me and Daddy D were working on, and he had some health issues and unexpectedly died in 2020 while we were working on it.
Yeah.
So my compromise, the group is basically over. Let me put a period on it and not change the name, but the compromise was to name that album The Secret.
Understood. Well, like I said, it's a very good quality album, and take it from me. Listen, I like my grown up rap. Like, I'm just turned 37 July 1st. I listen to my grown up rap. It's enjoyable. I cannot stand. But you know what? The younger generation, they're trying. Like the one they're trying to make. They just don't have the right guidance. But my show, I try to steer them. And I know you follow me, so I try to give them that push. You know what I'm saying, to put them in the right direction. And I want to ask this though. With that being said, how do you feel about the resurgence though of the veteran rappers like LL Cool J, Rakim? They just put out some fire albums. How do you feel about the resurgence of that that legacy, the legacy acts?
I love it, man. I love the fact that everybody's being exposed to the music, and the playground is big enough for all of us.
It is.
That's not a threat to the current artists.
Yeah.
We all can make some money, and it's good to have a variety in different music, man. Yeah, I'm just so glad of that resurgence and the whole 50 hip hop 50.
Yeah.
Even though there's some issues about
I know. Me and my father talk about that all the time. We had a whole. I didn't even go. Everybody was like, "Why you didn't go?" I didn't respect it. I didn't go. I didn't go because it was like right down the block from my house, and I still didn't go. I just refused because I felt like, me personally, I felt like it didn't honor you guys, and I felt like that money did not go to the real guys who started hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like Bambaataa, like my father. Those guys, it didn't go to them, and I was just, I'm not taking part in it.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So
like anything else, it's a commercial marketing scheme. Even that, because Flash and Bambaataa and all those guys were out there at the same time. No disrespect to Kool Herc.
Yeah. But
We
know who real started it though. We know who started it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like,
great story.
And that's all it was. Yeah. all the guys in the Bronx, all the OGs in the Bronx hated it. And then also too, they were saying 73 it was still disco. 75 is the real year hip hop. So they didn't like it in the Bronx. They couldn't take it. They didn't, they didn't like it.
Right. Oh yeah.
But we had our powwows about it. And I want to ask this, you have so much knowledge, you have so much game to share with artists. You know what I'm saying? What is one of the hardest things that you had to deal with in the music business?
Janky promoters. When
we
started off,
still going on.
Man, because you get out there, you're young. I was 15 years old when we started. Yeah. And as a 15-year-old, you obviously I was the youngest, so they were like 17 and 18, but I was the baby of the group. So we relied on the DJs.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of DJs who worked with us and took us under their wing, supposedly. Now we had some good ones, but then there were others who were in our life. It became apparent that they came into the picture to hold us back, to actually stop us. There was a time when there was this one radio DJ, man, we were supposed to be on the Fresh Fest when when it came to South Carolina. We were supposed to be on that show. We were trying to be the opening act. Yeah. That's all we were trying to be. Yeah. And we had things worked out with the promoters to be on that show. And then the DJ who we were working with, he came back all of a sudden and said, well, they said, y'all not ready for the Fat Boys. What do you mean we're not ready for the Fat Boys? We're not asking to headline the show. We're asking to open the show. This is our market. Everybody here knows us. What do you mean we're not ready?
Oh, man. Yeah.
And stuff like that with those janky promoters. And at that time, you probably remember the DJ, a local DJ, was the star, was the superstar in the community.
I know. Yeah.
I ain't let y'all kids take my place. We didn't know that at the time, but that's that's what it amounted to. This guy was the star, so I'm not gonna make y'all no star. I'm not gonna help you do it. He was gonna have to block us.
Yeah, it's the same way. It's just different now, but it's the same way now. Like right now, you got the influencers. They're the janky promoters. Everybody's an influencer. That's the definition of a janky promoter. Like I get so many artists that hit me up. I'm like, man, you got, didn't you? They took your money, didn't you? So I totally understand. And I wanted to ask this question before we get out of here too, Classy D, is this. What made you become an author? That's what I wanted to ask. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, man. See, you did your homework. I like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But no, it actually started when it started early on when I was a kid. Man, I had a very inquisitive mind, and so I was writing. I put together my first newspaper at 5 years old.
Wow!
And sold it to my mom, and my mom gave me like $5 cents or something like that. I'd go out and get some ice cream. So it was like it was giving me that encouragement to do it.
Yeah.
So I went to school, went to college, and studied journalism. And I've been writing. Started off writing in newspapers, and by writing for the newspaper, it kind of introduced me to everybody and even other people, promoters and all in the industry. Yeah. And I know where you're going. And see, that's where probably the most famous book that we had was Dolomite, the story of Rudy Ray Moore.
Yes.
When we wrote the biography on Dolomite. Now, when we wrote it at the time, in 96, it sold probably 100 copies, maybe at best.
Yeah.
Because here's this X-rated comedian. Nobody wants to admit that they know.
Yep.
Everybody's listening to it. Now, the hip hop world loved it because hip hop Luke and all them was sampling Dolomite.
Especially the Chronic. My album Chronic. So that's Dolomite all day. That's Dolomite the whole album's Dolomite pretty much.
Exactly. It's basically a Dolomite album.
Dolomite album, yep.
Everybody was trying to everybody basically tried to avoid the book for the most part, the mainstream, until Eddie Murphy, that 2019 movie Dolomite Is My Name. Yep. And because my brother and I we were the only ones who had the book on him. CNN called me, USA Today called me to do a story because they wanted to know if that was real.
Yeah.
And we were a credible source, so they had to come up yes. And so there was a complete resurgence of the book again. It's kind of out of print now. I'm going to have to.
Yeah, you got to put that back up.
Going on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to put it back out there. But a guy was telling me the other day, man. He was like, "Man, I saw Dolomite on Amazon for like $800. What you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, that's a third party seller, man. I'm not." That ain't me. That's somebody who knows it's out of print. So I'm working on putting it back in print so people can actually get it for an affordable price instead of having guys like that trying to rip people off, charging $800 for it. That's ridiculous.
Nah, yeah, you definitely got to put that back out. That's one thing you definitely got to put back out. And so right now, I do want to ask this right now. Like I said, even me, I put out a music business book. I'm actually working on a hardcover. I haven't had time to finish it.
Okay.
What do you feel like, because you went to school for journalism. I do want to ask this. Like, what do you feel like, do you feel like it's worth writing books? Because, they always say black books or black people don't read. Do you feel like it's good to make black books, as they say? And
Absolutely.
I quote.
Absolutely. It's just like the music industry. It's all about having those people behind you who are going to push your music, because you have people who are not authors, like Kevin Hart. No diss to them, but if they have the big marketing machine behind them, their book sells.
Yep.
And so here they have a bestseller book because they got the big marketing machine behind them.
Yep.
For those of us who don't, Black women are more likely to read, and if you market your stuff toward the Black women, because they have book clubs, and so they get a different book every month that they like to read and share, and so we do. Now the women do it more than Black men, but Black men do read as well.
Yes, sir. I'm a fierce reader. That's how I got all this going, because I read 3 books a month, damn near. So I totally understand. And my very, very last question, Classy D, I want to ask this. Like I said, you have a lot of game. You have not a lot of knowledge. As a young buck, as a veteran, as a South rap veteran, I ask everybody this: if you were to sell your young self give your young self a piece of advice navigating in this music industry, what piece of advice would you give them? Give yourself.
Simple. Plan your work and work your plan. Most people go into this business, and I'm using the term business, because they don't go into it as a business. We tend to lose focus, and you lose focus when you don't have a plan. When you just out there doing willy-nilly, doing whatever. Oh man, I got a hot record, let me put it out. Okay, so you're not understanding the 4 P's of marketing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The product, price, place, and promotion. You got to know it.
Exactly.
Got to know it, baby.
Business. And especially if you are an independent artist, you've got to understand that you don't just put something out there. Why do they think people make Christmas records? Because they know every December, if it's a good record, it's going to play, and they can make enough royalties off of that. That's why they do it. Marvel put out Black Panther in February, Black History Month. That's when you put out the Black movie.
Yes, sir.
It's all about marketing, and most people don't understand that. Plan your work and work your plan. When you go into it with a plan and set goals, you won't be disappointed because you got a hot record. Man, everybody knows there are great basketball players out there who never made it to the NBA. Great football players who never made it. Because, and I don't want to get too political, but the American dream is a myth.
Hmm.
The American dream tells you all you got to do is work hard, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and you'll be successful. That's BS. We all know people who worked hard all their lives, who got good product and never got put on. Because there's more to it than that. There's certain situations that are beyond our control that dictates whether you're going to be successful or not.
Yep.
There are people out there, this is not taking any skill away from any talent away from Bronny James, but he obviously had an opportunity that other people are not going to have.
Yeah. But you got to show and prove, though. LeBron can only do but so much, but the rest is up to you.
Right. But it's there, and it's throughout any business that you're in. It's no secret that Eli and Peyton Manning were going to get an opportunity to be great quarterbacks, because I grew up watching their daddy, Archie Manning, playing for the Saints. And a lot of people don't know it's a family business. They have a leg up on other people. So it's a myth that all you got to do is work hard and make, because I know you run into artists that make good music that are struggling to sell it, because it's more to it than you just working hard.
A lot more to
it. So plan your work.
A lot more to it.
Make realistic goals for yourself so that you don't get disappointed. Don't come out here thinking I'm going to be a superstar overnight. Because you're not going to be a superstar overnight. Have set goals and work towards those goals. When you reach that goal, then you set another goal. And understand the marketing, the marketing of social media. What are you? Are you an artist? Then you need to be selling your art. You shouldn't be out for likes. That's ego. Do you just want ego? You don't follow the crowd. Man, this should be a platform for me to be marketing myself and marketing my music. Not just posting what I had for dinner last night and what my friends are doing. You just want likes? Then you've gotten off of your purpose. Because this is about the music business. Is it about your ego? Then you can do that. Oh, I got 30,000 likes for this post. Did you get any money? Go back to your plan and look at it and understand, why am I using TikTok? Why am I using Instagram? Why am I using these channels? And if you do that, then you won't get disappointed. You'll set those goals and you'll understand how it works. Because commerce and communication always work hand in hand. So plan your work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My God. Classy D veteran. Thank you so much. Thank you. For sure. My God.
You, my brother. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That's what this show is for. It's to fix the problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm always the type of person, if you're not fixing a problem, you part of the, if you're not providing a solution, you're part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, my brother, plug your social media, plug everything, the awesome crew, plug everything.
Okay. Probably the best way to get in touch with us now is through the Instagram is the awesome crew _paradigm. My YouTube channel is at the awesome crew 7, the number 7. The website, I'm still working on that. Awesome Records Online. Still trying to update the website. Being independent and doing everything yourself is tough.
Tough.
So still working on that, but the YouTube channel and the Instagram is probably the best way.
Got you. And with that being said, the single Back in the Days, I like that. That's a jam right there. You're going to stream that. It's going to be on DJ Chase Radio in rotation. It's in rotation right now. The album, The Secret, out now on all streaming platforms. Once again, I am DJ Chase. The Pregame Party Podcast right here on WDJC DB, DJ Chase Radio, DJ Chase Radio, DJChase.net. Get that merch. You know what it is, man. The hats, shirts, hoodies, all that, man. DJChaseRadio.com. And we are out of here. Yeah.